Hello and welcome to yet another edition of the Full Force News Burst, brought to you by GeneralsJoes Reborn.com, with me as your host, Chris, Homoerotic Beach Volleyball Champion 1997 to 2001 McLeod, aka Diagnostic AD. Joining me, I've got to somehow Photoshop my face onto like Slider or one of the other guys on the beach on that scene.
Nice.
Joining me today to talk about Mattel becoming the global toy partner for the Top Gun franchise is Justin Danger Zone Bell. So without further ado, let's get stuck into this really awesome news burst. A number of days ago, Mattel announced that they were the global toy partner for Paramount Pictures' Top Gun franchise ahead of the sequel Top Gun Maverick, which is scheduled to debut in theatres in June 2020. The deal covers a number of categories, including die-cast vehicles and aircraft, play sets, games and other toys. Janet Su, Mattel Chief Franchise Management Officer, gave a statement saying, "The new line will bring moments from both the classic film and the sequel to life, appealing to fans of all ages. We are thrilled to bring Top Gun to life for both kids and their parents who undoubtedly fell in love with the franchise over 30 years ago. Our design-led approach has allowed us to recreate the high-octane action from the movie with a line of toys that will impress fans of all ages." The line of toys is set for release globally ahead of the film's US premiere on July 12th of 2020. If Mattel can create a quality line and capture the same feeling they managed with their incredible Jurassic World and Jurassic Park lines, then we could really be in for a treat here. Justin, what are your thoughts on this story?
Oh, I think it's cool. It's got some cool potential, and it'd be interesting to see sort of what they've got in mind and what they're planning for any kind of toy line for Top Gun. I know 30 years ago I would have been over the moon about this. Now it's cool news, but we'll kind of see what they do. As an interesting aside, I never knew, like I've been married for 19 years and I've known my wife for about 25. I never knew she was an absolute Top Gun like nut job.
That's amazing.
Top Gun came out, before we got together, obviously, and she's mentioned it occasionally from time to time. But when the trailer for the sequel was revealed, she went absolutely nuts. I think she saw the trailer. And this is a woman who isn't necessarily captivated by films. She's not a pulp culture maniac like I am.
Yeah.
But she must have watched that trailer about 30 times in a 24-hour time span.
That's
It's pretty
amazing.
crazy.
I feel like she's my spirit animal.
Yeah, she got fired up.
I mean, just looking at that trailer, I mean, God, there's some amazing aerial footage in that already.
No kidding.
I mean, the first movie's got some cracking cinematography in it, but I mean,
Yeah.
there's that one scene when the planes are kind of breaking through the sound barrier, coming through the ravine, like coming at you through the ravine, and oh my God, it just looks insane. There's that almost like X-Wing in Star Wars moment when you're looking at Maverick in the cockpit and he's got the other planes either side of him. I mean, it looks incredible. I mean, in terms of what Mattel have done with the Jurassic World and Jurassic Park lines, I was really impressed with that kind of what they did with that. If that comes anywhere near what they did with that line, I'll be amazed, really. But the other thing is, I mean, what can they actually do in terms of, say, action figures?
Well, that's the thing is that, Top Gun kind of has one character. And I know back in the day there was Goose, there was, Iceman and some people like that. But, if it's based on whatever this new movie is, I mean, besides old man Ed Harris, I mean, who else are they going to really have as an action figure? It's got to be a vehicle-based line, I would think. Whether or not it's purely based on Matchbox or Hot Wheels, or if they're going to do some larger vehicles, I don't know. But it'll certainly be interesting for them to see kind of where they go with it.
Yeah, I mean, they're talking about, as well as doing like the Top Gun Maverick kind of product, they're also talking about legacy, kind of franchise kind of stuff. So I'm guessing we're going to get a lot of, like maybe Maverick and Goose and Iceman and Slider and Cowboy and Merlin. And
I'm just impressed that you remember all of those. You must have watched the movie 4 times before.
I've seen it many times.
5 minutes ago, you finished watching it.
I've seen it many times. My favourite scene is the volleyball scene. Anyway, no, but seriously, like I think there's scope to do a lot of the the kind of legacy stuff. And I imagine, I mean, we haven't seen a lot from the trailer. We've only seen Maverick and, like you said, Ed Harris. We haven't seen much of anybody else. We haven't seen any other characters that might be kind of like the main characters in this. I know Tom Cruise is probably the main character, but I'm sure they'll have like a young crew in there. I'm guessing they'll be obviously put into the toy line as well. But from what I could really gather, if we're talking like, say, 3 3/4 figures, then you're talking like a Sky Striker size plane, aren't you, for that kind of thing?
Well, the Sky Striker was that an F-15 or an F-14? I don't know quite as well as I probably should. The Sky Strikers are...
It's kind of like, it's a mix between an F-15 and then like something that isn't really out there, I guess.
Right.
You've got, was it called the
vehicles are,
SP-1F or something it's called, wasn't it? I'll have to look that up. But yeah.
Yeah.
Carry on.
So I'd be curious, like, what Mattel does if they do a 118 vehicle, and whether it's that much different than the Sky Striker, I guess.
XP-14F, apologies. That's what it was.
There you go.
That was the designation. I don't know exactly. I'm guessing F-14 is in there, isn't it? So 14F backwards. So I'm guessing it was based on an F-14, and then obviously certain elements aren't 100% accurate for obvious reasons. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to see... Because like they've done, like, again, I'm coming back to the Jurassic World line because they've got precedent where they've done ridiculously huge friggin' toys. Like the Brachiosaurus, for example. That thing is massive.
No kidding.
So, like, for them to do like a like a Sky Striker scale, whatever it is in the new film, and maybe even like back in the day, the old school planes, then, man, we could have some pretty cool kind of vehicles, couldn't we?
Oh, for sure.
I'm guessing,
for sure.
I mean, you have the motorbike. They could do a little mini beach volleyball set.
You and this beach volleyball thing, holy cow.
They could do the bar, like the little bar scene with the little jukebox, and they can have the piano set up for Goose. I don't know. They could do all sorts. But again, like I'm really excited for this in a weird way. I mean, do you think this is a missed opportunity for Hasbro?
It seems like that. I mean, I would. How cool would it be to have like a G.I. Joe branded sort of Top Gun subline? I mean, that does seem like a little bit of a missed opportunity. I don't know how popular Top Gun is really these days, and you probably won't know until it comes out in the theater and you really see what the box office returns are.
It'd be me and your wife watching it. That'll be it.
Pretty much. Yeah, right. But yeah, I mean, it does seem like a little bit of missed opportunity. I wouldn't think the license would have been outrageously expensive.
No.
And they could probably have used a lot of existing tooling to kind of do up some figures. And yeah, I don't know. It seems like it could have been something they would have been able to pull off.
Even if it was just using Joe parts to obviously help them save a bit of money in that sense. I'm sure they could do that. And it just, again, boggles the mind that they weren't all over that for the Top Gun franchise.
Definitely.
Again, like this, some of the recent things, Hasbro, they kind of gave up the Jurassic World license, the Jurassic World and Jurassic Park license, didn't they, to Mattel? So, or Mattel took it on after they gave it up. So, I mean, from that standpoint, I'm not sure if they are that interested in jumping on film franchises for that short burst of sales. I think Hasbro are working closer now with their own in-house brands, the brands they've had for a long period of time, the ones that they can kind of, basically put all their focus in. I think that's probably where it's going now, isn't it? And Mattel seem to be jumping on these kind of movie-based, and Lannard as well, are jumping on a lot of the movie-based stuff, aren't they?
It does seem like Hasbro's got some of their evergreen stuff, their in-house brands, and then there's stuff like Star Wars and Marvel and now Disney princesses or whatever, and they're kind of seem to be, maybe they're happy with that, or now Power Rangers, of course, too.
Yeah.
And maybe not stretching themselves too thin. I don't know.
Yeah. In any case, I'm very excited to see what comes of this. Hopefully we'll get to see something very soon. Considering the film is very close now to release.
Yeah.
The toy line is dropping or is being revealed prior to that particular release, so we should be getting I would expect to see stuff very, very soon now.
Absolutely.
And when we do see it, I'll have you back on to talk about how either awesome or awful they all look. I'm hoping the previous. So I'm hoping it looks awesome. I'm going to be down for this if it's out. And yes, thank you for jumping on again, Justin Goosebell. That makes me... I've just decided I'm Maverick and you're Goose. Bit harsh, isn't it?
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever.
Unfortunately, you're going to be dying at the end of this news burst. Is that all right?
That's fine.
Spoiler alert. Anyway, thank you, Justin. That's it for this instalment of the Full Force News Burst. Thank you to my awesome co-host, Justin, Goose, Bell. See you next time, and as always, Danger Zone. Danger Zone! Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on Twitter @The Full Force, liking the Facebook page facebook.com/The Full Force, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on either of those platforms with feedback or questions. We have also started a Patreon page, so if you want to see your name up in lights on these videos or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/The Full Force Podcast, or click the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force. Cobra is taking over this month with Cobra Convergence 4. The entire month of July will be turned blue thanks to Hooded Cobra Commander 788 and a plethora of G.I. Joe related YouTubers, podcasters and much, much more. So make sure you check them out over the 31 days of July. All hail Mighty Cobra.